Well, I'm going to try this one more time, and then I'm going to give it up.
The northern waters.
Along the Portuguese coast lies a crossing of sea lanes critical to the survival of opposing fleets. Surrounded by towers of crimson sedimentary rock in the expanse of the blue Atlantic, these two fleets will soon engage in trial by combat, where only one team can claim victory. This is Loop. Loop is a unique map in that every single capture area has an island smack in the middle. To the west, the island in the center of Capture Point Alpha is tall enough that it will handily provide shelter for ships seeking to hold down the cap until the enemy team can work ships far enough forward to sneak shells around one end or the other. The same can be said for Capture Point Charlie in the east. The island that dominates Capture Point Bravo in the center provides much less cover than those on the flanks, and is more likely to be contested from radar cruisers lurking near the islands along the edge of the zone. In fact, every single capture zone on Loop has islands near enough to provide hard cover for radar-equipped cruisers, making capturing any one of these zones extra challenging. Games on Loop may very well come down to a single mistake that allows one team to pick up an early kill and give them an advantage in firepower. 18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play Loop. Go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Game 5, 07 versus SCCC. This is for all the marbles. Move into our final match. So SCCC coming to the party here with double Ohio. Interesting to see Dank in an Ohio instead of a Montana.
Indeed.
We got double Des Moines, Moskva, double Nevsky, Summers, and Smolensk.
Oh, that's the okay. Okay, the 07 lineup. Sorry, you said you wanted to do SCCC. I was looking at the wrong.
Oh my
place.
God, I'm sorry.
Well, tell you what, just give us
07, guys.
It's okay. It's fine. I'll take the SCCC lineup. No problem. They also brought in Ohio, pairing it off with a Thunderer. We've seen them do that earlier. Salem, Venezia, double Moskva, Daring, and double Smolensk. It's interesting. There's a philosophical difference here that you kind of look at as you see these two lineups, Saf. With Petro and Stalin both on the ban list, one team has basically taken Moskvas, one team has taken Nevskys. Now, yes, they complemented it with their own Moskva, but you kind of start to get a sense of, I don't know, maybe they have different philosophies behind how they intend to use those radar cruisers.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, a destroyer disparity for both of these teams. Fuzzballs is Smolensk putting up an info radar as he's approaching the bottom end of the A cap. He will be discovering there. He finds Reformed. Find Reformed Gamer on the top end, but nobody will really have good shots on Reformed. Peregrinus' Ohio might take a shot, but by the time those shells arrive, yep, here they come. But I don't know. We'll see. Probably not going to be a great salvo.
You might as well take the shot.
Might as well. I mean, they don't. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but he misses that one anyway. We see Scharnhorst Daring working the bottom end of B.
Encounter some torpedoes.
Looks as if SCCC is going to pick up B for free. Right now, Scharnhorst is radared, but no one is shooting at him. No shells coming in means he's going to bag this cap. Over at A, we have notices Summers was backing up towards C, gave it up. Looks like 07's going to very quickly surrender B and C here while they are getting positioned.
Yeah. Now, we've seen this before. 07 doesn't freak out by losing the caps. They push, and oftentimes they push at just the right moment until they screw over the enemy team.
Yep.
They can do that again.
One of the things that I think these guys benefited from early on was some of the early cross-server events. They got to see and got to interact and play with some of the European teams. And the European teams have traditionally had a very different sense of timing and patience when it came to competitive play. If you remember all the way back to like Supremacy League, the early days of King of the Sea here on NA, like King of the Sea 5 and 6, the NA teams were very aggressive. Shove a destroyer in a cap circle. Get a cap point, And the European teams tended to be much more lackadaisical about it, right? They were much more patient about it. Like, okay, get the cap, but only if it's the right time and the advantage is ours, and so on and so forth. And I think some of these teams like 07 that got a lot of experience playing in some of those early matches kind of learned to adopt that more patient mindset in a competitive match.
Yep. Now take a look over at A here as Coconuts is pushing up around. Looks like the one line, down the one line here, trying to get some angles on Fuzzballs. Managed to succeed for a little bit, taking some damage for the trouble.
Well, they are obviously making a like A is the play here for these guys. They're making a push. They've got to they know they've got to push Fuzz out of here. You know, one of the things about knowing the map rotation means that these guys know that they're going to have to learn to push destroyers out of certain places on this map. So 07 obviously knows they've got to push a destroyer out of the bottom end of this island at A. They have to have developed a methodology for doing so, and so we're seeing them kind of work on that here.
Yep.
5 minutes gone. 07 down about 170 points here, giving up all of this cap control very, very quickly, holding back A but owning no other caps. And they're not ever going to own C, Zath. Like, you can look at that side of the board and just tell. They're not interested.
But they are interested in A, and they are interested in B.
They're very...
And you can see, with the Ohio positioning, they're bookending that push.
They're very interested in A. That's very patently obvious. It's simply a question of how much damage and how much time it's going to take them to get in there. They've pushed doubles.
They're going to whittle down Rikshay's Moskva here.
So what they're doing now is that with doubles Moskva position combined with the Coco's Des Moines, Coconuts, whatever's Des Moines, they've pincered Fuzzball's Smallland. They're taking away the places on the backside of that island that he can hide.
Got double coming in from the other side, so Fuzzballs, and again, Reformed Gamer is just sitting there proxy spotting him for days.
Indeed.
That's his job right now, is just to keep him spotted.
That's his job. Fuzzball's trying to find a place where he can avoid these shells, but right now he's struggling with it. At the same time, 07...
Ricochet's going to go down here.
Yep, they've been farming Ricochet mercilessly. That'll buy 07 some time, points they need. And there it is.
More importantly, that's going to allow them to start pushing on Fuzzballs.
Absolutely. William can now just continue pushing right around this island. Fuzzball's not in a really good position here. I think he has finally found a spot. Yep, he's finally found a spot where the Moskva can't hit him and the Des Moines can't hit him. Well, I say that, but then he backed up just a smidge and the Des Moines started shooting at him again. First blood going to 07 here, but all the cap points right now in favor of SCCC. SCCC's finally worked somebody in there to start dropping shells on Reformed Gamer in return, and now Fuzzballs is finally moving out. Looks like he's going to accept this. He's going to accept this fight with Reformed Gamer.
Oh,
but Reformed has a little more help in the form of doubles Moskva.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Reformed gets his torpedoes downrange on double, but he will be off the board momentarily. That will allow 07 to pick up the A-cap as they go up 2 ships.
Yep. Now look at the mini-map again. Once again, Ohio's are bookending the push on this entire side of the map. All 6 columns, all 6 areas, just going right down south. Potatoes, Ohio, right in the middle of the board. He's the hinge point as everybody else swings down the 1-2 line. Now, Scharnhorst has just dumped one of these beautiful conga line torpedo salvos right at PQ. Yep, I was just noticing that at the same time.
Yeah, we'll have to see if those land. I saw PQ turn his engines on. He's reversing a bit. That might throw things off some.
And the conga lines, you have to hope that they're going to be where you think they're going to be.
Indeed, and double
or nothing.
Double did take some of those torpedoes from the Smallland before Fuzzballs went off the board.
The thing about Smallland torpedoes is they don't do a ton of damage. They can flood, but it's not worth giving up your position over and showing a potential side.
At the moment, 07 just doing a textbook job of farming Peregrinus's health, as he kind of tries to retreat back here on the I line, well south of the area, a little space in between A and B. Conga line torps going in on PQ now, but they all fall short just on the starboard side of his bow. Not much going on at the A cap over here. We got this Nevsky and Summers. That's Jones and Noticer just kind of doing what they can to harass this push as these guys, as the SCCC guys swing up through the 9-10 line.
I'll note though the small end here, Reformed Gamer is now switching over to B cap.
He is. They're going to kind of go.
At
Go
this
try and
point,
pick up
this
B.
is when the push. This is the point where the push starts to pivot around that Ohio in the middle, but that's potato quality.
I think so. Halfway mark of the match. 07 upside down, about 250 points, but they have suffered no casualties and have a very, very strong board position right now. I expect them to pick up B and start making some real inroads into that score very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, big hit on Agayon's Moskva there. I think was that Nevsky?
I saw that
must have
too.
been. Oh, it was PQ. PQ came around the corner and just punched those right through his bow. And now Agayon's Moskva is in a very uncomfortable position. Not only are the Ohio secondaries beating him up, he's bow on, and these guys know where to aim to push those full penetrations through. You can't Citadel a Moskva through the bow.
Do.
Not with that icebreaker, but if you aim them high enough, you'll still get full pens.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what Potato Quality did. I noticed 07 is running This Is Your Day Commander camouflage. I'm not sure why you'd want to run the colors of the Chicago Bears, but hey, it seems to be working for them.
Duh, Bears. Yeah, I wouldn't run around those colors.
Unlike the Chicago Bears.
Why would anybody profess their interest in the Chicago Bears? Agayon goes off the board. 07 narrows the gap further. They pick up B. They bag another kill. This is a textbook game on board position, Zath.
Oh, and look at Policat, 7,500 health. I mean, this guy knows when to disengage, how to save his ship, and he's done it right here.
Yep, now's the time. Let's have a look over SCCC's shoulder, trying to figure out what they're doing. Their board position is rough. Zath, Everett, Salem trapped down here on the eye line, kind of zoned out by the Ohio off to his port side that he can't see. Scharnhorst Daring down on the south side of B, but long ways off the cap. Peregrinus' Ohio marginalized and pushed all the way back to the J line. They pumped so much damage into him.
You can see SCCC is rotating now to try to blunt the push at B from C. So they're going south, try to blunt the 07's push, but that's not going to do anything.
Yeah, it's going to be
It's gonna
tough,
take
right?
way too long.
It's going to be tough, right? You know, once you're down this many ships, it's a question of, do you have the firepower to break back into this cap? Because that's what they have to do, right? They either have to bag a kill, and right now, 07 is controlling the vision to the point where their low targets are not spotted, and there's no need for them to fire. And, you know.
This is the part in my replay analysis where I would hit the pause button and say, take a look at the minimap, take a look at the teams. Look at what 07's done. They've got their Moskva tripwired over at B. So as soon as Price tries to get into the cap, boom, there goes the radar.
Yep.
You've got Coconuts and you've got Policat over there and Nevsky and Des Moines ready to go as well to fire down range. You got Potato Quality just sitting there saying, I dare you to attack me.
You've got three radars.
That's how you hold a place.
You've got 4 radars ready to cover the B cap, right? You've got the Smolin, the Nevsky, the Des Moines, and the Moskva all ready to cover this B cap.
Price got detected by the Noticer in the Summers, forced to pop that radar, got into a little bit of a gun duel, so now he's going to be detected for a while, and he probably knows he's going to be doing some fancy dodging here.
Gap nearly gone. Less than 100 points now separate this team. 6.5 minutes to play in this critical Game 5. 07 trying to get back to their, I don't know, what, like 7th consecutive NA final or whatever it is. It's crazy. They got to win this.
I've lost count.
I've lost count. They've got to win this game to do it, but they are certainly on the right track to do so. Starting to get the sense that SCCC might be kind of getting a little desperate here, Zath. I mean, you're seeing the Daring pick a gunfight with a Moskva.
Mm-hmm. At this point, you got to do something.
Yeah.
Anything.
And
you gotta hope for a detonation, you know?
One of the things that I really like about what 07 did against Peregrinus, right? They did the exact same thing that we saw AP do against that Yami earlier. They just pumped so much damage into him. They didn't kill him, but they took him out of the fight for a huge chunk of the fight, right?
Wow, look at what's going on with Everett and Dank. I just noticed that on the minimap.
Yeah, no, I'm down here looking at it. It's only a matter of time before William wins this fight, right? See what I mean?
There it is.
I mean, those guns are going to punch that Salem in the face, and he's going out. But until then, Salem can rack up some damage, no question.
They're one of those desperation plays.
Noticer and Jones now back onto the C cap. I was wondering if they were going to pull this off. They have. They've come all the way back off the B line to contest C. That freezes SCCC's points gains. Even more pressure. Zath, I think this is over.
Oh yeah.
It would require SCCC. I mean, it would require 07 to make a huge mistake and just get 2 ships slapped off the board. I don't see it happening.
So it's not a huge mistake; it's several huge mistakes.
We're talking. Yeah, like you're at a point now where it would take several large, catastrophic mistakes for them to turn this around.
Agrinos is about to go off the board. There it is. 40 seconds to go.
Yeah, this is out. This is over.
Arnhorst desperately trying to do something.
SCCC gives 07 a run for their money, but in the end, the defending champions will once again be returning to the finals.
I'm surprised Scharnhorst is still alive, quite frankly.
I kind of am as well, if I'm honest. He's been doing a real brilliant job, like picking and choosing his gunfights. They bagged Jones. They bagged Jones. Fryce in a gunfight with the small one, but that didn't end the way he wanted it to, and seconds ticking away now. Even as Scharnhorst smokes, it won't matter because the game is over.
Over.
Congratulations to 07. They'll get a chance to defend their title yet again.
You got it. I'll tell you what. We didn't see games 1 through 4, but I have to wonder what happened in those games to force this kind of a game, because this game looked like just very textbook